Hi there! Welcome back to English Glow Stories, the most peaceful way to learn English through storytelling. Today, we'll take a journey with Elena, a young woman who returns to her grandmother's cottage in the countryside. It's more than just a visit. It's a rediscovery of memories, a connection to her past, and a reminder of the simple joys we sometimes forget. Let's begin the story. Listen carefully, learn new vocabulary as we go, and then practice your speaking with me later.
My name is Elena. Last week, I took a quiet train to a small village where my grandmother lives. It had been nearly 5 years since I last visited. Life in the city kept me busy, always rushing, always moving, never still. But something inside me said it was time. Time to slow down. Time to go back. The train moved gently through the hills. Outside the window, fields of sunflowers waved in the breeze. Sheep grazed on soft green hills, and a narrow river glimmered like silver in the distance. For the first time in a long while, I wasn't checking emails or thinking about deadlines. I was just watching, breathing. When I arrived, the village looked exactly the same. Stone houses with wooden shutters, small shops with handwritten signs, children laughing as they played in the narrow streets. I walked down the gravel path to my grandmother's house. It sat on the edge of the village, tucked behind a row of tall trees and a small garden fence. There she was, standing at the gate in her long blue dress, her gray hair tied back, her eyes bright like I remembered. She opened her arms wide. "My Elena," she said, "you've come back." I ran into her hug. Her embrace was warm, smelling faintly of lavender and baked bread. "I've missed you," I whispered. "And I've missed you more," she replied. We stepped inside the little cottage. It was just like I remembered. Wooden beams on the ceiling, a fireplace with small logs beside it, photos of our family on the walls, and the scent, a mix of herbs, old books, and something sweet. On the table sat a plate of fig pastries, warm, golden, and filled with honey. "Your favorite," she said. I smiled and took a bite. It tasted like childhood, like lazy afternoons and quiet summer days. Later that evening, we sat by the fireplace and talked. I told her about my job, my apartment, my long days. She listened, nodding, her hands slowly knitting something soft and red. The next morning, I woke up to birds singing. Sunlight poured through the curtains. I walked into the kitchen. Grandma was already outside, watering her garden in a wide straw hat. "Come join me," she called. The garden was full of life, roses blooming, tomatoes glowing red on the vine, carrots peeking from the soil. I slipped on old sandals and stepped outside. The grass was still wet with dew. We picked lettuce, snipped herbs, and filled a basket with fresh vegetables. "Still doing this every morning?" I asked. "It keeps me grounded," she smiled. "Plants remind me to grow slowly." After lunch, I decided to explore the attic. I hadn't been up there since I was a little girl. The staircase creaked under my feet. The attic door groaned as I opened it. Inside was a world of memories. Dusty boxes, old books, faded photographs, a chest with a broken lock, and in the corner, a small music box covered in lace. I picked it up gently. It felt delicate, like a sleeping bird. I turned the little key on the side, the lid opened, and a soft tune began to play. My breath caught in my throat. I knew that melody. Flashback. I was 5. There was a thunderstorm outside. I was scared and crying. Grandma pulled me close and said, "Shh, listen." She opened this fairy box. The music was gentle, like rain on leaves. I carried the music box downstairs. Grandma looked up from her book. When she saw what I held, her eyes softened. "You found it," she said. "I used to play it for you when you were small." I nodded. "I remembered," I whispered. "It made me feel safe." She took my hand. "It's yours now," she said. "Take it with you. Let it remind you of who you are." I hugged her tightly. Some gifts are small, but carry the weight of love.
That evening, we sat on the porch with warm tea. The sky turned orange, then pink, then purple. Birds flew home. The wind whispered through the trees. Neither of us spoke for a long time. We just sat, side by side, watching the light fade. Finally, Grandma said, "You don't need to do big things to live a big life. Sometimes being present is the biggest thing." I nodded slowly. I didn't want to forget this. The silence, the warmth, the music in the air. The next morning, I packed my bag. The music box rested safely inside. I walked to the gate where Grandma stood, just like when I had arrived. "Come back soon," she said. "I will," I promised. "And next time," she smiled, "bring a story with you." The train pulled away. I watched the village disappear behind golden hills. In my lap, the music box was quiet, but in my heart, its melody played on. Vocabulary in context. Countryside. Land outside cities, filled with nature. The train moved through the peaceful countryside. Still. Quiet, without movement. Life in the city kept me busy, never still. Glimmer. To shine faintly. The river glimmered like silver. 4. Gravel. Small stones used to make paths. I walked down the gravel path. 5. Tucked. Hidden or placed neatly. The house was tucked behind a row of trees. 6. Embrace. A hug. Her embrace was warm. 7. Beams. Long pieces of wood that support a ceiling. Wooden beams on the ceiling. 8. Fireplace. A place to make fire inside a house. We sat by the fireplace. 9. Knitting. Making fabric with yarn and needles. Her hands slowly knitting something. 10. Blooming. Flowers opening. Roses blooming in the garden. 11. Dew. Tiny water drops from the morning. The grass was wet with dew. 12. Grounded. Emotionally stable and calm. It keeps me grounded. 13. Creaked. A sound made by old wood. The staircase creaked. 14. Delicate. Soft and breakable. The music box felt delicate. 15. Melody. A tune or song. A soft melody began to play. 16. Softened. Became gentle. Her eyes softened. 17. Whispered. Spoke quietly. I whispered. 18. Weight of love. Emotional meaning. Some gifts carry the weight of love. 19. Porch. Outside area by the door. We sat on the porch with tea. 20. Whispered. Wind. Moved softly. The wind whispered through the trees. 21. Present. Fully aware and calm in the moment. Being present is the biggest thing. 22. Rested. Was placed gently. The music box rested safely inside. 23. Disappear. Fade away from sight. The village disappeared behind hills. 24. Melody played on. Memories continued. Its melody played on in my heart. Speaking practice. Repeat each sentence out loud. Hi, I'm Elena. I took a peaceful train ride to visit my grandmother. Her home was warm, cozy, and full of memories. We picked vegetables from her garden together. I found a music box in the attic. The melody brought back memories from my childhood. Grandma gave me the music box as a gift. We sat on the porch and watched the sunset. I felt calm, connected, and full of gratitude. I promised to return soon with a new story. Final thoughts. Have you ever returned to a place that felt like home? Or found something small that brought back a big memory? Share your experience in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. And remember, learning English isn't just about grammar or tests. It's about feeling, connection, and discovery, one word at a time. If you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Come back to English Glow Stories, where English feels warm, natural, and full of life. Until next time, keep listening, keep practicing, and keep glowing.